Ultamize. Most people think they get into trouble because they said something long, complicated, or deeply controversial. It's rarely what happens. What actually gets people in trouble is a single sentence. Sometimes it's not even a full sentence. It could be a phrase, a reaction, a quick answer to a question they didn't fully think through. And at that moment, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds is all anyone ever sees. This is what I call the 30-second career killer. Because in the modern workplace, nobody's watching your full explanation. They're not sitting through your entire meeting. They're not listening to your full interview. They're seeing a clip, a short segment, and that clip becomes the entire story. Imagine you speaking for 20 minutes in a meeting. You're thoughtful, balanced, reasonable. 19 minutes and 30 seconds are completely fine. But for 30 seconds, you say something slightly off. Maybe your wording's clumsy. Maybe your tone sounds dismissive. Maybe you made a joke that doesn't land or had unintended nuances you weren't even aware of. That 30 seconds is what survives. That's what gets shared. That's what gets judged. And suddenly, you're no longer the person who spoke for 20 minutes. You're the person who said that one thing. Here's the critical shift you have to make. You're no longer speaking for the moment you're in. You're speaking for the version of the moment that might be replayed later. I know that's a lot to get your head around, but it can be stripped down, it can be shortened, it can be taken out of context. That means every answer you give has to stand on its own, even if someone only hears 10 seconds of it, even if they don't know the question, even if they don't understand your intent. If your words can't survive that kind of isolation, they're risky. Now, this doesn't mean you need to overthink every single sentence, but it does mean you need to avoid a very common trap, starting strong and then drifting into something clueless, because most people don't get into trouble with their first sentence. They get into trouble with their second or third when they relax, improvise, and assume the moment will pass. It doesn't pass anymore. It gets captured. And once it's captured, you don't control how it's used. So the discipline you need is simple, but not easy. Every time you speak, assume that any single sentence could be the only sentence people hear. If that sentence could damage your reputation on its own, it doesn't belong in your vocabulary. Guess what? That means no more sarcasm. That's the easiest of all to be misinterpreted when stripped out of context. So that's your new standard. And once you adopt it, you start speaking very differently, more clearly, more deliberately, and most important, more safely.